Okay, so it's time to give this a small go. Okay, so it's time to give this a go now. So here I've got my CronusMax. What I'm going to do now is I've already set up my Cronus. I've installed and updated the firmware, downloaded the new, downloaded this client here. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly go through the process of setting this up and maybe demonstrating something. So here we have the mini Type 2, Type B USB. Plug that in, and I'm going to plug this into the USB port on my computer. There should be a noise going doo-doo. I don't see it. Oh, I think it's come up. Yeah, okay. So this here is the button layout that you can change. So it wants me to input my controller. So I've got my Xbox One here, the broken one, and what I need to do now is find a bloody micro USB. Man, I should have really planned for this in advance. I had a micro USB cable somewhere, and now it has disappeared. Is this one? Micro USB, where did you go? Okay, I found one. So now I'm going to put the micro USB end into the Xbox One, and then I'm going to plug the... So I'll actually show you down here. So here I have the Cronus. Oh wow, that's not a good idea, is it? Well, basically here's the end of the Cronus, and here's the input port, and that's going into the Xbox One. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug awkwardly. Which way does this go? Okay, so I'm now going to plug this into here while the Cronus is plugged into my PC through the side port, and then I'm going to plug this into here when I can do it with one hand. There we go. So that's now, that Xbox One is plugged into the bottom, and the output is going into my computer, and you can't even see because I don't have a bloody light down there. So that's that. As you can see, when I press a button on the Xbox One, oh my dear, when I press a button, so pressing A, you can see up the top it's mapped the Xbox One and what the output would be here. So if I was to press A, it would come up as the X on the PlayStation 4, but I don't want to be using a PlayStation 4, so I'm going to change my output to the Xbox 360. So now it didn't change it. So okay, so now it's an Xbox 360. So what this means is, for example, if I press right trigger, it will press right trigger. I can press all of this, you know. So it's now mapped to the Xbox 360. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. I haven't added in any scripts yet, and I'll probably make another video on having a bit of fun with some scripts, maybe some macros, some auto combos. But now that that's done, or at least I assume it's already done, I'm going to close this, and I'm going to unplug the CronusMax from my computer, turn on the Xbox One, and now let's show you how this works. Now, sorry for the shaky camera, but again, I didn't plan for this. I should really get like a tripod for this. And just quickly show you how this works, because I've used the CronusMax before, but okay, so over here is the Xbox One. I'm going to actually move this over like this, so now I've got some lights. It looks a little bit spooky, wouldn't you say? Okay, so in the side port here, I've got the Cronus. Put this into the side port of the Xbox One without breaking it, and there is 0, and the Xbox One is on, so I can now control it. First, I'll log in actually as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, this is now stored, the Xbox One. All I need to do is take this out. It's a lot harder than it looks. There we go. So this is now stored, the Xbox One controller, and now I'm going to plug in my flight stick. When I can find the end of it. And again, now that, because this is stored, the Xbox One input, I can now plug the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, into the... I can't even see what end is that. I can now plug the Xbox 360 into the Xbox Cronus So that's now plugged in, and it's now reading my Xbox 360 controller. So for example, if I press a button on here, I'm going to press A. I can now control my Xbox One. Oh, just quickly show you. I can control my Xbox One with a 360 controller. So this is amazing. This is so handy. It means I don't have to spend money on an Xbox 360, another Xbox 360 controller, or an Xbox One, or another fight stick, or a very console-specific controller like Mad Cats are doing with those stupid Killer Instincts fight sticks, because of how much money they cost. So, how much did the CronusMax cost? I'm actually going to pause that because it's a bit loud. So, how much did the CronusMax cost? In all honesty, it cost me about £60 or so, but I think it's worth it considering what you get. In my case, because my Xbox One controller broke, it would mean that I would have to then buy another controller, and that's around £40 or so. But since my Xbox One controller broke, I then have the ability to have a CronusMax, which lets me use any controller that I want, and I've got about 5 or 6 controllers to use from various different consoles. So really, if you buy a Cronus, you've essentially given yourself more controllers than if you were to single yourself, bogged yourself down to just this one controller. So I don't need to get a replacement Xbox One controller, because I can use a PlayStation 3 if I wanted to, or play Killer Instinct with a fight stick, instead of having to shell out another 180 or so pounds for the Killer Instincts exclusive Xbox One stick. So yeah, I highly recommend the CronusMax. I'm going to put up a video of me playing Killer Instinct on the CronusMax, and maybe I'll do a little mini montage of the CronusMax in action on some other games like Devil May Cry, Street Fighter and such. So yeah, I guess that was my mini thoughts, my review if you want to call it, on the CronusMax. I've said it a million times, it's probably going to get tiring now. Yeah, I think this is awesome. Again, it's about £60 or so, and the features that it gives you is endless, or well, not actually endless, but varied in amount. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions and stuff, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll definitely respond.